We broke a record this year. This is the most meetings we have ever done in the New York event, but you guys are on track to do about 3,500 meetings. Welcome to Global Alts New York. It's great to see you guys. We have a great week lined up for all of you. Amazing content. We have a few really spectacular keynote speakers, Philippe Laffont and Seth Klarman. We are super excited about our meeting count. Obviously, that's the most important aspect of Global Alts, as you know. We broke a record this year. This is the most meetings we have ever done in the New York event, but you guys are on track to do about 3,500 meetings. So congratulations. Thank you for all the hard work in the platform. I know it's a lot of time and energy to set up your schedules and get prepared for this. It's not like other events where you kind of can just show up and bump into people and network. But it also works better. So this obviously is a huge week. We have not only the Knicks in the finals for the first time since '73, we have the biggest IPO in history happening, and we've seen a pretty substantial uptick in the interest in private markets funds, which we're really excited about. The private markets has really been pretty flat for a few years. And just even since our Miami event in February, we've seen a really nice uptick where private equity and venture meetings are up by about 30% over what we saw at this event last year. So definitely excited to finally see some liquidity coming back to the market. And hopefully we'll see a spark here with the SpaceX IPO that propels the IPO markets back to maybe more of their traditional performance. So in my opening, I always like to highlight at least one or two of our tech innovations in our platform because the platform is so central to your experience here. We have a new AI tool that some of you have seen called Violet. And if you haven't seen it, I encourage all of you to go in and use it. We've basically embedded an LLM type feature into the system so that your old way of booking meetings is now completely different, or it can be. You can still do it the old way if you like, but I don't recommend it. Using Violet, you can basically talk to the system. You can tell it, these are the things I want to see peer groups, those look good, make that a favorites list, send, craft a message, send the messages for me to those people, send meeting requests to these people, respond to meeting requests. You now have this AI agent embedded in the platform that will make your experience much more efficient. So if you haven't tried that yet, I would encourage all of you to do it. It's also available all year round. So you can be interacting in the system and pulling data and information whenever you like, and it's a much more efficient way to do it. The second thing I want to mention, which ties into Violet, is we created, I think you guys know, for about the last 2 years, we've had a roadshow module in the system. So if you do a roadshow, you could go in, create that roadshow, and it's kind of an advertisement for you in the system. So when LPs are browsing through the system, they could see, oh, okay, here are some funds that are coming through town. Well, we took this to the next level and decided to create our own iConnections Roadshows. We launched this about 6 weeks ago, and we've now done these in, I want to say 20 or 30 cities around the world. And in essence, we're going to the LPs in that city and saying, hey, we want to do a roadshow in your city in X week. Tell us what it is you're looking for. And then we use Violet to make matches for them, and we send them those matches. The response to this has been overwhelming. We have now seen hundreds of meetings booked in a pretty short time here by way of the iConnections Roadshows. That's the good news. The bad news is that number 95 is how many meetings are sitting waiting for GPs right now that they haven't responded to, because you guys generally, unless you're, most of your interaction with us is really event-centric. But I want to encourage all of you to pay closer attention to the system. And also, I have the client success team, the sales team, the IR team chasing everyone to say, hey guys, there are LPs who want to meet with you. And by the way, all of this is already covered in your subscription. So there's no additional cost for this. We're going to now be doing these all year round. So I would encourage all of you, if you can't figure out that part of the system, definitely reach out to your account reps and they'll help you through it. But this is something that that the LPs seem to really like because they're the drivers of it. They get action in the areas that they want it. And we're seeing this happen both physically and virtually. So, and honestly, I think it's really going to change the way this entire ecosystem functions. So, with that, I'm going to, oh wait, I got one more announcement, the Louvre. So, I think most of you know we're going to Europe. We're doing our first event in Europe, which will be held in the event space that's connected to the Louvre. It's in late April of next year, the last week of April. And I think we have over 130 managers already signed up for that event. So this one is looking like it's probably going to be a Miami-size event. We're expecting 2,000 to 3,000 people for the Paris event. So if any of you are interested, please reach out to your account reps, and we'd love to have you. With that, thank you again for making it here to New York this week, and I will pass it off to Bryan Corbett, the CEO of MFA. Thank you, guys.
I'm Bryan Corbett, President and CEO of MFA, and I got to say, I'm happy to see so many of you here this morning because I'm sure, like a lot of you, I was up late. It was not a good outcome. It was hard to get up this morning, hard to get the energy going again after a tough loss. But I feel good about Game 4 coming up. So Bryan Corbett with MFA. We are the leading global trade association that represents alternative asset managers. Our mission every day is to advance the ability of the industry to raise capital, invest it, and generate returns for their allocators. So our members are among the largest and most sophisticated funds in the world. And we represent all different strategies, from traditional hedge fund to private credit and everything in between. So every day we're dealing with the rules, regulations, press stories that impact funds. And over the past few years, the environment has grown more challenging for our industry. We've grown dramatically in terms of sophistication, size of AUM, strategy complexity, and also the types of investors who are now accessing alternative funds. And with that growth comes opportunity, but it also brings challenges. We're seeing heightened scrutiny. We're seeing greater regulatory and reputational risk for the industry. And MFA is managing those challenges and risks. Every day, we are dealing with policymakers who are writing the rules and regulations that affect the industry. We get the first call from government officials who want to understand what's happening in markets. And oftentimes, it's many of our members who are involved in those market events, and we need to explain the industry's role and impact. We're also dealing with the media that's constantly trying to create a narrative about the industry that we want to make sure is accurate and reflects the great work that all of you in this room do. So it is a busy time for our industry, and all of us have a shared interest in MFA's mission and our work to advance the industry. Our job is to eliminate the friction and noise around the investment world so that all of you can do what you do best. Be the best investors you can be, and be the best partners to your allocators. So when you hear MFA, when you see our logo, know that we are the ones who are day in and day out have the industry's back and are focused on protecting the industry and creating the conditions for it to continue to grow in the US and internationally. So here at this conference, we have a number of our members in attendance, and I thank you for your continued support and engagement. For those of you who are not members, I look forward to meeting you, learning about your business, and understanding how MFA can be a partner to you. All of you have limited time and resources, and we greatly appreciate that you have chosen to be with us here today. At MFA, we're excited to continue the partnership with Ron and the iConnections team to support and grow the global alts events. We look forward to a great couple days of content. So again, thank you for joining. If you see me, please grab me. I'd love to hear about what you're up to, and again, how we can support the growth of your business. So thank you and enjoy the 2 days. Go Knicks.